Okay, awesome. So today we have a very special guest on my channel introducing Harshit Godha, you guys. Very,
Hello
very interesting.
everyone.
Hi, Harshit. So he's someone I found through a friend. Very interesting, very, very interesting. And when I found out that he was one of the people born and brought up in India and who has been pioneering sustainable avocado cultivation in India using Israeli techniques, I was like, I have to get him on my channel because he has a very, very inspiring story that everybody needs to know. So, Harshit, I give the stage to you. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Harshit Godha. I'm pioneering sustainable avocado production in India using Israeli tech. I did my undergrad from the UK. I did it in Bachelor's of Business Administration from University of Bath. And while I was studying, I got the idea of avocado farming. And then I lived in Israel for a month. I learned about avocado farming techniques, irrigation practices, and varieties that avocado community has. And then I learned about that. And then I came back to India. And then I started this project. I'll delve deep into it in this interview of what that journey was like and what problems I faced and why I chose Israel.
Okay, so just a quick question. Like, obviously, a normal person
Yeah.
wouldn't know. You were in the UK. How did you think of coming
Yes.
to Israel and learning specifically about Israeli avocado cultivation?
What happened was I lift. I work out often. So avocados were a huge part of my diet back in the United Kingdom. And my family has lands in India, in my hometown in Bhopal. They had asked me that agriculture is something I can look into because we have land that is not being utilized. Our main business is in real estate development. So the land was not being used for that purposes at the moment. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll think about it. And then after a lot of research, I figured that it was not very profitable. Like the traditional way of doing farming in India is not very profitable, and it's something that farmers don't get a lot of money in that supply chain process because most of the money goes to the middlemen and the retailers. Farmers are a bit crushed when it comes to getting the profits from it. So I initially thought, okay, this might not work. But then one day I was in the UK and I was eating avocados, and it said on the packaging that it was sourced from Israel. Then I thought, okay, avocados are quite expensive, and it is sourced from Israel. Let me look a bit deeper into it. I started researching about avocado cultivation in Israel. And what I found out was that it was one of the most profitable crops in Israel, but not only that, it is not a native species of Israel as well. It was brought to Israel by Dr. Ben Yaakov 60 years ago,
I see.
and within 60 years, they have researched a lot about it, and they have been growing avocados in extreme weather conditions and in saline water. Saline water is not ideal for agriculture, but they are doing it anyway because they have developed certain varieties and they have developed irrigation practices that can sustain it.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, if they can do it in Israel in hot climatic condition, maybe I can do it in Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh. So my initial plan was to develop an avocado orchard. And then what happened was I started emailing the Israeli avocado industry. I was doing an internship in London in King's Cross. During my I used to hate that internship. Uh,
I feel you.
so,
Okay.
so during my internship, that's how I would spend my time. I'd do a little bit of work and mostly I'd research about avocados. And then I started contacting the Israeli avocado industry. I contacted people from the Ministry of Agriculture, avocado growers, nursery owners, packhouse managers, and asked them if I can come to Israel and learn about avocado farming.
How tough was to get their attention, or
See,
was it like easy for you?
no, it wasn't easy. So what happened was I made it a goal that I have to go and I have to figure it out. Now the process I followed was I would write 10 emails a day, 10 cold emails a day,
Wow, that's a lot.
right?
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
And it was not just simply copy paste stuff. Like I would research about the company, research about the person, made it a bit personalized. And then I would tailor the email. The main content would be tailor made, and the context would be the same. And then some people replied that like they're not interested because whatever, for whatever reason. Some said they'll think about it. One person, Penny from Kibbutz Magan, he replied, and actually I didn't get his email directly. There's another company in South Africa called Westphalia Fruit. They are one of
Okay.
the largest avocado growers in the world. I contacted their technical expert, and I asked him if he knows someone in Israel from where I can learn who has the
Wow.
similar climatic condition. And he gave me the email address of Benjamin Weiss, the
Oh,
person from Kibbutz Magan. So I emailed him, gave him his reference, and he said, "Sure, you can come, you can live with us, and we'll cover your expenses, living expenses. You just have
that's
to fly to
amazing.
Tel Aviv." I had no video call with Penny. We talked on Skype a couple of times, but it was audio, not video. So I didn't
Okay.
know what he looked like.
Okay.
Uh, and I had like 2 or 3 phone calls with him, and I was like, "Okay, I'm good." I booked my tickets, and I finished my internship, and I went to Israel. I landed in Tel Aviv and I still had the feeling like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know anything about the country. I had no clue about the language. And while speaking to Benny, he didn't speak perfect English. So we used to talk in broken English.
English.
At the arrival area of the airport, Benny and a couple of his team members, they stood there with a placard that said Harshit Godha, and then there was an
Oh,
avocado beneath it. So I was like, yep,
that's
he's
me.
he, that yeah, that's me. I introduced myself, and they were quite surprised, and they were happy to had me. And what like I asked him later, like why did he say yes to my request? And he was like, because I was 21 at the time. I was quite young, and he thought that I had big balls to actually just come to another country solo to learn about avocado farming. So it was something out of the league. So he was very happy to teach me, and then he took me to the kibbutz. There were 2 kibbutz in
Okay.
Israel called Magan. There's one that's called Kibbutz Magan, and another one is Magan Mikhail.
Okay.
So yeah, so when I search on Google, Magan Michael or Magan Mikhail, whatever the name is, that one came up. So I was under the assumption that I'm going to that one. But when he told me that there are 2 and we are going to the other one, I was like, okay. And then I realized it's very close to Syria. It's near Golan Heights.
Oh,
I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then, but the kibbutz was beautiful. I really liked because it was at the southern shore of the Sea of Galilee. The studio house that I was given by Benny, it had the view of the sea,
lovely.
and yeah, so it was amazing. And then basically my schedule there was that I would wake up at around 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning.
Wow, that's
I'd
very
go.
early for normal people.
You see, because of heat and climatic condition during June back in 2017, uh, the workers don't work in the field later during the day. So they start the work early and they finish early and then they chill,
Makes
which
sense.
was okay with me. I had nothing else to do. I'd wake up at 5 or 6. I'd go to the field. So I was on a tourist visa, not a work visa. So I would take notes
Right.
of what they were doing, what the varieties were, what like what's happening, because agriculture was completely new to me. I had no idea. After 10, we'd finish the work. I would come back, have something to eat, relax, and then I'd go to the beach. I'd read a book, chill there for a bit, and then in the afternoons at around 3 or 4, Benny would take me and he would introduce me to different industry experts. So there were some irrigation experts. There were nursery owners, packhouse managers, people from
Hmm.
ministry. In fact, one person from the ministry actually recognized me. He said, were you the one who emailed me?" And I was like, "Probably," because like I met so many people, I had no clue
You
who
don't remember?
he was. So yeah, but like he was surprised that I was actually there,
Interesting.
and Benny was surprised as well because Benny didn't knew that I emailed so many people.
Right.
So and that would be my schedule. And so there was another family in the kibbutz, and the family's kids were about my age, a bit younger than me. So I made friends with them, and then in the evenings I would hang out with that family. Like they had barbecues and shisha and beers in the evening. So it was all relaxing and like I had a good time. Like that was my schedule pretty much every day. Then I came
Mhm.
back. I spent a month there doing this on repeat.
Wow.
I came back to India. That time I hadn't finished my degree, so I finished the degree, and
So
then
basically, you
I
went
told like,
back. You went back to UK after you spent a month in Israel. You went back to
yeah. So
UK,
I
finished.
went to Israel during my summer break, and then I went to India, uh, and then came back to the UK, finished my degree. And then in 2018, I convinced my parents that this is what I want to do. This seems something very promising and interesting. We can go ahead with this.
Hmm.
So my colleagues in Israel, they said that what we can do is we have to see the climatic condition. We have to see if what other crops are being grown in your area, if it can work or not. So I invited my colleagues to India in 2018, and
Okay.
then so Benny was there. Another person that Benny introduced me to, Oren Wala. He is a nursery owner in Israel and quite
Okay.
a renowned person in the avocado industry of Israel. Yeah. So he
Okay.
was also here. Another one of Benny's friend. He's doing the same thing in Vietnam. So he
Vietnam.
was also there. So
Okay.
uh, yeah. So what I am doing in India, he's doing the same thing in Vietnam. He's importing plants from Israel and he's doing it in Vietnam. He's Israeli, so he has a business in Vietnam.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they visited me in 2018, and then they did all the soil test, climatic data, and rainfall and everything. And then they suggested that some varieties of avocado can work in India, in Bhopal. So I thought, okay, fine, let's go ahead with this. Next challenge was to source the planting material. Now the issue is uh, plant because you don't have good quality avocados here. You don't also have good quality planting plants of
Pl-
avocado in Israel. Sorry, in India.
In India. Okay.
Right. So we decided to import plants from Israel. And in 2019, we started the procedure of the import. But the problem is that the import procedure is quite cumbersome. It's heavily bureaucratic, and you have to figure out lots of procedures and get a lot of licenses like nursery license, importer, exporter code, plant quarantine clearance, custom clearance, all that stuff. So it took so much time that my plants in Israel were ready. This is the height of the plant when they're supposed to be shipped. But because
Okay.
it took me so much time that the plants grew and they were around 3.5, 3 feet or 4 feet. So I
Oh,
couldn't
I
import them.
see.
So my
Oh.
project got delayed to 2020. Now
Oh
in
my gosh.
2020, COVID happened. So both the countries had lockdowns.
Right.
So another year got wasted.
Oh
And then
no.
finally it got delayed to 2021. Now, even 2021 was a bit problematic because the day my plants were supposed to be shipped, my plants left
Hmm.
Orange Nursery and they were stored in the airport's cold storage. And that day, Hamas attacked Israel. I think you remember, it was
Yeah,
on
I was
news.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I moved in 2020. So everything that happened after 2020, I was experiencing it. So
Yeah. So
everything was stopped. Basically, all businesses or export,
yes.
everything was stopped.
Yeah, the airport was shut down because the attack happened near the Tel Aviv airport. My plants went back to Orange Nursery,
Oh
and then we
no.
waited for a month. We waited for a month. Even during that time, it wasn't certain like if I would get plants in 2021 or not. But then political tensions they stabilized, and then I finally got my plants in July 2021. Now that's how I got my first consignment. Those plants were from my own orchard, like the plants that I would be planting on my field. But what happened was that I had been documenting my entire journey on YouTube, and LinkedIn, and Instagram.
Hmm. Hmm.
So people started contacting me that they also want plants and they also want to do trials.
Hmm.
So at that point, my business plan changed. I was like, okay, I can do an avocado nursery because there's a demand for a good quality avocado plants in India.
Hmm.
And so I imported another lot of consignment plants
Hmm. Hmm.
in June 2022. Those were 4,000 plants and those are all sold out. Like
Wow.
those are,
Amazing.
yeah, I pre-booked them and those are all sold out. Now, and I had been documenting my entire procedure, even like how to take care of the plants, how to manage the irrigation system. And then I started another series on my YouTube that's called Avocado Insider. It's on the same channel, Indo Israel Avocado. It's just a separate
Hmm.
series where I interview avocado experts from around the world and talk about different issues and different aspects of avocado farming. So I've had people from Metafim Israel, I've had people from Agriculture Ministry of Israel, and
Mm-hmm.
then I've had people from California, Australia, Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
avocado experts, and they talk about different aspects and different issues regarding the avocado cultivation and avocado
Mm-hmm.
supply chain.
Amazing.
Now, yeah, so that has become my business model for now. And I have another consignment that's coming in, I think, March 2023.
It's inspiring, like the challenges that you went through, and it's not like a 3 month delay. It's like almost a little more than a
3 years.
year, 3 years delay. Oh my gosh. And the
Yeah.
kind of patience you've had and the kind of resilience you've had. I can imagine that graph. It goes straight and then it just shoots up exponentially. It's crazy. I think patience is the key, and I feel right things come at the right time. You can clearly see that in from your business and your business model. And it's amazing. So moving on, especially for people who want to start avocado cultivation, or who are looking to let's say try and understand geographically, apart from Bhopal, which other cities or which other locations in India have suitable weather conditions and soil to grow avocados?
Bhopal is not ideal for growing avocados, right?
Interesting.
There are two types of avocado varieties. One is called green skin, and another one is black skin.
Okay.
Right. The most common one that you'd find, the one that is like that you'd find on internet or Instagram, that's the black skin avocado. I can't grow that in Bhopal, but I have
I see.
other varieties that can work in Bhopal, and those are green skins.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, if the temperature stays below 35 degrees Celsius and
Mm-hmm.
doesn't go freezing during peak winters, then you can grow that black skin variety that's called Haas. The locations that are suitable are South India, so Kodaikanal, Kunnur, wherever they have coffee estates, you can grow avocados. And then another location in India is Northeast India. So Sikkim, Arunachal, Nagaland, Manipur, that area is actually quite suitable because you have height and you have
Mm-hmm.
ample rainfall and the temperature doesn't go above 35 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
Are ideal for perfect avocado farming. And
Mm-hmm.
then places like Madhya Pradesh or Gujarat, Maharashtra, or even some parts of Punjab, we can grow avocados here, but then you'd have to compromise a bit on the product. So it's
I
not
see.
actually the quality that you're compromising on because it tastes the same. The fruit tastes the same. It's just it looks a bit different.
I see.
And even the black skin avocado is actually green, and when it's ripe, it turns black. But the other
Oh,
varieties, they remain green. And in Israel, actually, in the local market, I've been told that green skin avocados are preferred. It's the export market in Europe that prefers the black skin avocados.
I see. So it depends from geography to geography, like which country prefers which avocado.
Yeah, so I think in India there's a big market for both black skin and green skin. It's just that
Okay.
black skin would command a bit premium price because it would appear as if it's imported. And the
Oh, I
green
see.
skin ones, the green skin ones that I'm gonna sell in the market from my own farms, they are gonna look very good as well. But it's just it won't turn black, so it would command a bit less price than as compared to the black skin, but it would
Black
still
skin.
be quite high.
Because you're the one who is pioneering avocado cultivation. You're like the first one going through all of this. The first one always have, I mean, he or she has to go through so many challenges. So what were your challenges once you started to do all of this in India, in the Indian market, from the Indian farmers, from the Indian customers? What were the major
See,
challenges?
the big challenges, firstly, were the import procedure, right? There is no proper website or uh, resource of knowledge that could tell me that this is the procedure, these are the pitfalls, these are things that need to be prepared in terms of documentation. So that was the first challenge. Second challenge was making people aware that there's a difference between the quality of avocado plants that you find in India and that you find abroad.
Correct.
Right. The main challenge, the main difference is the rootstock. Now, I'll get a bit technical here. So, the avocado plant that I sell or that I get from Israel, it is grafted, right? It has a bottom part that is the root system, and then
Mm-hmm.
it has the top part, the shoot. So it's like
Okay.
two parts are connected.
Correct.
So what happens is in Israel, after 60 years of research, they have developed certain rootstock varieties
Mm-hmm.
that they only use the seed because of its root system. They grow the
Mm.
plant up to a certain age, and then
Mm-hmm.
they chop it and graft a budwood on top.
I see.
And that budwood can be of whatever variety that you want. It could be Haas, it could be other greenskin varieties like Pinkerton, Ettinger, or whatever you want. Right.
I see.
The issue is uh, in India, even if you get the correct variety on top, right, there's no
Mm-hmm.
research done on rootstocks. So in Indian markets, you get avocados grown on random avocado seeds. They grow it
Oh,
up
I
to a
see.
certain, which is grafted. So if you are
Oh.
growing it as a hobby, then that's perhaps fine. But if you're
Mm-hmm.
growing it for commercial harvest, then that is
Mm-hmm.
not the ideal way to do it, because all the commercial avocado nurseries in the world, in all the Western countries especially, they use
Mm-hmm.
specific rootstocks because of the root strength, disease resistance, and higher yield.
I see. Okay.
So the rootstock is very important, and we don't have it in India yet.
Yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say because you've started Indo-Israel avocado, what's the future of Indo-Israel avocado? Where do you see you yourself taking it, and do you think you're going to make research as a part of it, maybe in the near future?
Yes. So, see, uh, let's talk about the next 5 years first. My plan is to expand my nursery and expand my production capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think I can sell more plants, but my capacity is restraining me. So, first step is to build new greenhouses so that I
Mm-hmm.
can store more plants. Second is to make plants in India. Currently, I'm importing plants from Israel.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm planning to do is import seeds from Israel
I
and
see.
then grow the seeds, graft it, and then grow the entire plant in India itself. The seeds would still be Israeli,
I see.
but
Okay.
yeah, but the plant would be prepared in India. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the next step.
Okay.
And regarding research, see, the issue is when we talk about research, we talk about new varieties, right? New
Right.
rootstock, new cultivars, like the new variety on top, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to develop a new variety, it takes upwards of 8 to 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
so you have to develop a mother orchard specifically for testing new varieties, let them grow for 3 years, and then see which trees are performing well and which trees are not, and then multiply those trees, and then take those trees and spread it across different parts of the country or world, and then see if it is yielding consistently in all those areas, or does it have some issues with climate. So then
I
you'd
see.
get to know why it's behaving the way it's behaving, and then
Mm-hmm.
once you have that knowledge, you have a new variety.
I see.
But the procedure is quite long. So either it requires a lot of funding or it requires a lot of time. So I have a lot of time. So maybe in the future I'll develop a new variety.
Awesome.
But right now, I think I have enough varieties that I can work with.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, in the future, let's say my main goal is to grow black skin avocados in climatic conditions like Bhopal.
Mm. Okay.
Once I
Got it.
figure that out, well, that's going to be quite I think promising.
Awesome. So for those of you who
Yeah.
don't know, Harshit also does consultancy. So do
Yeah.
you want to elaborate on what kind of consultancy do you do? What can people expect from your consultancy so that they can approach you?
Depending on your question, firstly, I'm going to ask you the climatic conditions and the data of the location that you want to farm avocados in. And then I'll see if you can grow avocados or not. And based upon that, I'll give you the variety selection, and I'll ask for some soil data so I can give you the best rootstock choice.
Mhm.
And then, furthermore, even during the growing stages, So until you get your first harvest, I'll be guiding you on what to do, what not to do, how to prune your plants, what spacing the plants should be on, and what kind of drip irrigation that you have to install. All that
Mm-hmm.
stuff, I'll be guiding the person from stage one. And it would mostly be on through online channels like WhatsApp or Skype or so that. But and physical meetings, I haven't thought about it much because I'm too busy with my work right now. But that is on the table right now, so I'll be charging for that, and then I'll come and visit your farm.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's something, some issue like some disease or some pest that I personally don't know and I can't solve it, then I'll try my best to approach different experts from across the world and try to get a solution for you.
That's amazing. I don't think, I mean, it's very important to have someone who guides, especially when it's a very untouched market and, everything is like in thin air. You don't know what's happening. So, we have a phrase in Hebrew. It's called kola kavod, means all the respect and like good job, way to go. So kola kavod to you, Harshit. I think you're doing a great
Thank
job.
you.
So for aspiring farmers, Indian farmers, not even Indian farmers, like Israeli farmers or farmers all around the world, what are your three suggestions or tips that would help them achieve what you're doing right now?
First, understand what kind of varieties are suitable in your climatic area. You can research about it on the internet, or you can hire an expert. Secondly, try to minimize water wastage. So in India, people still do flood irrigation, right? Or hose pipe irrigation. So that is not ideal.
I see.
You can't manage large plot of lands with that. And even if you're managing a small plot, you can minimize water wastage through drip irrigation, and you get precise with your fertigation schedule.
I see.
So that is very important because then you are not over fertigating it and damaging the soil. And with minimum water wastage, you are saving water as well.
Okay.
So those are the two tips. Third tip is if you are into avocado, buy plants from me.
Awesome. That's the way to sell. Thank you, Harshit. I think we are almost
Yeah.
towards the end of the video. And
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, Harshit documents everything he's done. I'm going to add all the links in the description. He also has a YouTube channel where he, like I said, he's documented his experience and he also speaks to experts all around the world talking about varieties, techniques, and other technical terms that Harshit will tell you better. And I'm going to add all the links in the description. So if you want to get in touch with him, go for it. And if you have any questions, write your comments in the description, sorry, in the comment section, and we'll try and answer as much as we can. And that's about it. We hope to have Harshit once again on our channel with some other interesting topics related to avocado. We'll talk about it, Harshit, and we will see you
Cool.
next time.
See you soon.